when friends come and visit our studio. Catch them all in MuseTalks.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the second episode of MuseTalks. This is the special Capstone Edition where we'll be covering food entrepreneurship in Singapore. And today we have our second guest with us. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Enson. I'm the co-founder of Prataboy, which is located in Ngee Ann Polytechnic. We sell bubble tea and cream Praffles.
How long have you been running this business for and what made you want to start?
Currently, we're running the store for about 2 to 3 years since we won the BYOB competition. So before moving into our actual store, we were doing events, corporate events at the sideline where people can engage us through our Instagram account to have a live Prata station. Oh. And then at the same time, Ngee Ann had some events for them to introduce the new BYOB winners. So we participated some events on the sideline as well. And then when we moved in, that was officially when we started our operations.
Can you walk me through more of the BYOB process? So can you describe what the process is like?
The BYOB competition actually starts in August, where participants will have to form a group of 3 to 5 members inside the group, and then they will have to prepare a brief according to what is needed for like that year's competition. So if I'm right, it can be through like presentation slides or creating a Word document sharing about what products you'll be selling, the name of your store, as well as when will you be able to break even and get back your money. Because I think Ngee Ann is quite concerned about whether if the business is sustainable, and then how the store will look like, and then other details as well. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier to me that this idea was pitched to you by a friend's friend, right?
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
One day I just received a text from one of my old friends. Like we don't really like keep in contact that often. But then like occasionally we reply each other's stories and whatsoever. And then one day he just texted me, like, bro, my friend is looking for group members in this competition to start a business. Will you be interested? And then I think without hesitation I just said like, yeah, like please let me know. And then I think that was when it started to kick off. Bring back to like how the overall flow of like the BYOB competition was, right? So after submitting your brief, you have to wait for 1 or 2 months for them to like read, for the judges or to read through your brief and whatsoever. So that takes about 1 or 2 months. Then after that, there comes stage 2, where the filtering process has ended. So out of like all the participants, maybe 50 to 100 groups, right? Only like 10 groups stays in the second stage. And then they would try to prep you up by having a small event where they have like other entrepreneurs, such as from Entrepreneur Singapore, for them to see through how you'll be presenting during the final stage, and then giving you some pointers and how you can improve and whatsoever. So after that, I think a week or 2 later comes the final presentation, where they'll be inviting judges from like the finance side and the F&B side to judge your product and the feasibility of it.
Oh, so in between the second and third stage, it's just a preparation. No one gets eliminated.
Yeah. So basically, I won't say the finalist, but like just the confirmed participants. Because if not, they will have to like filter through around 50 to 100 groups, which will take like forever.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense. The idea of Praffles, so was that always the idea, or how did the idea start?
Okay, so originally our idea was to like sell traditional like hand flip pratas, like the plain prata, egg prata. I think like our local cuisines you have it in your breakfast day to day. And then, but the problem was that during this process, we had some concerns from the Ngee Ann side, where we were actually flipping the prata like outside of the indoor area, like the outdoor area. And then there came like hygiene concerns, safety concerns, like what if someone gets hurt outside the store whatsoever. So we went back and forth. We tried to negotiate with them, but sadly they were very adamant about it. So we had to change a different way of like cooking the prata through the waffle machine. So we tried that, but sadly the response wasn't as good compared to the start, because I think everybody was more used to the traditional way.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
I
right.
think when you cook it through the waffle machine, of course the texture will be different
The
also, right?
texture, the looks of it overall isn't just what people expected it to be. Sales was tanking for like the prata side, but we still have the bubble tea to sort of sustain. And then it's just we have another year to go or more than that. What we're gonna do now? And then I think I scrolled on like social media like TikTok. They had this waffle place, but like those traditional pandan waffle you can get from your bakery or whatsoever. Then they were selling cream waffles. So that hit me lah. Like since we're technically making the same product, like why not I try to like innovate on that idea instead? Me and my team actually came up to make the cream recipe, and then through like R&D, we finally launched it, and then the feedback was good lah. So that was when we continued to make Praffles, and then we tried to do like a monthly special, but the thing is that currently I'm in army, so I don't have like that much time. Like I cannot go down and then try to innovate. But
And
that,
R&D
yeah,
lah. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, that was pretty much how the idea for Praffles came about lah.
I see. So the bubble tea side of the operation, that was also there since the start, is it?
I think at the start we were being a bit ambiguous, so we tried to like have a drink side and a food side. But usually it's like bubble tea store is bubble tea store. You wouldn't really think that
correct.
there will be like prata side. So I think that was one part that I think we could have improved on, like really ensuring that the overall flow of the business could work before including that many menu items. And then another problem about like F&B is like manpower.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
having someone being trained and then leaving the store and then training someone again. I think that was something we expected but didn't expect it to be so bad.
Yeah, you didn't realize how bad it could get.
You
lah.
didn't realize how bad it could get. Staffing issue plus huge menu, and then just hit us. Like, how are we gonna manage it now? So we had some restructuring, we tried to reduce the number of items in the store. Maybe not include such a huge intensive drinks menu. There were a few restructuring lah, like 2 or 3 times. Like me and my team decided this has to stop. Because if you see a business continuously restructuring their menu, and like you wouldn't really think like, hey, this store is prepared.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really want to like try out the store. So I think once and for all we decided, then just nice, we decided to restructure everything once and for all with the cream Praffles.
Prior to this, did you yourself or your co-founder have any F&B experience?
Yeah. My other co-founder, Ryson, he actually went down to like a prata store to learn how to flip prata and whatsoever. And then 6 months to a year. And then during the process, he gained F&B experiences as well, from working in the kitchen to the front line and prepare the ingredients. And then my other partner, which is relatively new, she works in F&B as well. Even though it's like quite differing, but I think F&B experience are relatively
Some skills are transferable lah.
they are transferable. I think the most important thing about like starting a business is not how well you can prepare yourself, but most importantly, being adaptable.
Yeah.
Because when you can be very well prepared in this, but if I throw you an issue where it's just out of the blue, just suddenly happen, what will you do?
Yeah, correct.
Right. So that was why we decided like her to join us in where she was able to adapt to things quite well. I started working in F&B back when I finished my O-levels. I started out in a Hong Kong dessert store for 2 to 3 months, working full time, 6 days a week, from the afternoon, maybe 10 a.m. all the way until 9-10 p.m. like 12-hour shift. And then I left because I had some disagreements with like my boss. And then during that period, I was working some odd jobs, like through those job apps.
Oh, like those stuffy.
You know, like stuffy Telegram
Yeah.
group chats. And then like my friend introduced me to flippers, Japanese souffle pancake
Oh yeah,
restaurant.
the one at Taka, right?
Yeah. Used to be at Taka, but they shifted.
Oh.
They shifted to Bugis, and then I think now Westgate. So I worked there until poly started. So it's like,
Oh wow.
I think it was I worked there for at least 8 months to a year. And then during poly, I still work like during the weekends. And then I was being thrown this opportunity to start a business. So that was when all my jobs started to stop lah, in terms of the F&B side.
Because you had to focus on this
Correct.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Then you mentioned your friend went to a prata shop. How does one get an opportunity like that?
So I think in business you need like luck as well. I think luck plays a relatively important aspect. So
True.
just nice, his dad's friend owns a prata shop near his area. So then his dad helped him to like ask like, hey, is it okay if my son goes there to like help out or whatsoever? I think another thing that I would like comment on my partner was that he didn't expect any form of monetary returns, which is a bit hard to see as of, I think, in this current generation lah. Usually when we, even now when we work part-time, right, you look at
Yeah.
how much money am I getting per hour? 15, less than that, I'm not gonna work.
Yeah.
But my friend was willing to work for free just because he wanted to learn this skill, which is very hard to find in this current generation lah, current age.
So this started before the BYOB thing, is it?
Correct. So the thing is that he knew about this BYOB thing very, very long ago. So he sort of had this idea in mind already. So he was just working towards that idea. But at the
Wow.
same time, there weren't gonna be any confirmed results. Like just because you take 6 months to a year to learn this skill, just because of the competition, you might not win it. So he might just lose these 6 months to a year's time of like effort, like time, money, because he's working for free.
Yeah, but I think he did it for his passion also lah. So actually not really wasted also per se.
Yeah. The good thing is that everything worked out lah. So
Yeah.
everything went according to the flow. We got the store and whatsoever.
So now the pratas you use are store-bought ones, right? Like
Yeah.
the frozen kind.
Correct.
So prior to you guys going into the army, when he was still working at the store, would he still hand flip them for the Praffles?
Like we tried to use the fresh kind, but the problem was that the dough was too thick, and it wouldn't cook as nice compared to like the store bought ones. Cause okay, the dough is just basically a circle, and then if you flip it, it'll become a square or whatsoever. But the store bought ones were like perfectly circle, just like
I mean, I think they're like cut right from the machine.
And then another problem that we realized about like using the dough, right, was that it wasn't spread evenly. It cannot be spreaded evenly, especially like
When you flip it.
yeah, when you do prata, right, it's not everything that comes out perfectly rectangular.
Yeah,
per se,
because when you flip it, it's like pizza lah.
Yeah.
There's always going to be like some
Your
odd
consistency cannot be there, because after all, you're using like fresh products and whatsoever. So the problem was that it wasn't cooked evenly. Even when we were using the store-bought one, right, we actually R&D different store-bought brands before choosing the brand that we currently use lah.
How much do you guys spend in stock, like each month?
I think it ranges, to be honest. On months they are a bit quieter because I think in poly we have our white space week, and sometimes poly holiday. Then I think now they are moving towards like a hybrid version of like poly, where you have online classes and then you have like physical classes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
something like that lah.
Yeah. So some months when like there weren't that many people in store, maybe we'll spend a few hundred in terms of stock.
In a
But,
month?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually not that bad lah.
Yeah. It's not that bad, but you have to correlate with your sales lah.
You guys buy everything from the grocery store?
No.
Or you have suppliers lah?
Yeah. So I think F&B is like, as much as grocery stores are convenient to get your ingredients, the cost is actually much higher.
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
Was it hard finding suppliers?
When I first started out, I didn't really know how to like engage with suppliers. So it's just scrolling through Google. And the hardest part was because I'm so new to it, right? I have to look at each. I remember having like 10 different tabs on my laptop, just looking at like how much cheaper is it through all these different websites
like
on the same product,
cross-referencing
cross-referencing. Another problem was that maybe this website is cheaper, but I don't have another product that I need. Let's say bubble
like
tea.
you're trying to get suppliers that deliver more of the same product, so you don't have to get. So
Yeah, I
many
don't have to
lah.
like, because another thing about ordering from suppliers, right, is that you have a MOP.
Minimum order
price.
quantity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have to hit the MOP. I need this product from another supplier. If I were to do that, right, a lot of cash will be stuck.
I get
Right,
what
you
you
get what I
mean.
mean, right?
Yeah.
So then I have to check whether it's slightly more expensive, but how expensive is it? Then I have to look at like the cents, dollars, then delivery fee and whatsoever, and then that took like slightly less than a month lah. But it was consistently every day after finishing school, doing my projects, and then looking at it, and then a lot of background work.
Oh yeah, that sounds exhausting.
Yeah. Another interesting story that I have to share was that in terms of packaging, I found a supplier, and then when we did our first order, it was fine. The stocks were delivered. The second time we ordered through their website, I didn't receive my stock, and then it was like few days before the stock was supposed to arrive. I contacted the person. I couldn't contact them at all.
Oh what?
Then I had to like the numbers they had on their website weren't even like the contact hotline. It's just some random like Mr. Tan answering my call and saying like, "Who are you? I don't know what you're talking about." Then he end my call. Then I was like, "Huh? Isn't this like?" Then I even doubted myself like, "Am I tripping? Am I calling the correct number? Am I pressing the correct number?" I call again, and then no one picked up. And then subsequently, I texted one of the previous like workers. They used to be there. Like after I texted, he said, "Oh, I left the company, but I heard the company is bankrupt now. Like there's solvency issue, and then they are currently like converging with another company."
So you just lost your stock.
And then I contacted the new person, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna transfer you back your money, or I'm gonna like pay now you this amount, blah blah blah." Right? Then okay lah, I give him some time lah. Cause the thing about like business is you cannot keep pressurizing the supplier or whatever. Then I waited. Until now I haven't received my money and my stock.
How long ago is this?
4 months, 5
Oh
months
wow.
ago.
So have you contacted them recently?
No reply.
How much money is it?
It wasn't much lah, but it's just the process of you having to refine another supplier, and then having to deal with this issue as well. It's not a very nice feeling.
It kind of irks you,
Yeah.
lah. So wait, so have you found a new supplier?
Yeah lah. Luckily, this worker was in a new company, and then asked them to send me their price list, and then I checked through everything, and then they were able to offer a better rate. So I would say it was sort of like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, so in the end it worked out, lah.
Yeah.
But you still have your money that's lost, lah.
Correct.
So out of all the products that you sell, what are some of your favorite products?
I think one of my favorite, like as our current menu, right, it would be firstly the cookies and cream Praffles. Because another thing we did for the cream, right, is that we didn't want it to be overly sweet. Our cream, right, we actually include cream cheese inside, even though it's slightly costlier, but it really helps to bring out the flavor and the texture of the cream. So if we were to purely use like whipping cream, right, it won't be as fluffy all the way. Like, and then the consistency isn't really there as well. So for the food side, it would be like the cookies and cream Praffles, then followed by chocolate and banana. For drink side, usually I'm quite a boring person lah. I only stick to like 1 or 2 drinks. So it's like passion fruit green tea.
So that's why you mentioned it just now also, lah. So I'm assuming you're the reason it's put on the menu.
And like, okay lah, I think based on our sales, it's one of our popular drinks as well.
What would you say is your proudest moment you've had while you've run this business?
The proudest moment I had was when like we first opened. Like I can really see the results there. Like having a physical store.
Yeah, like you can see it, right?
Yeah, and like my friends being able to join. I think at the start it wasn't really easy lah. Like, you know, managing your projects. Every day you go class, you're really very checked out.
Yeah.
Checked out. You go where I have to do project. Every day you just want to lie in bed and then laze and like rest lah basically. And then I did receive like some doubts. Like people asking me, "Oh, why do you have to try so hard? You're just a student."
I mean, these kind of things, if you're passionate about it, I think there's something to benefit from it, lah.
Yeah. I think another thing like what a lot of people are not willing to try, right, is the risk involved. Personally, I feel that a lot of people take others' opinions really too hard. Even though a stranger might say like all these things, right? But you really like, you consistently keep thinking about it, right? I think what made me so adamant is because I was so sick and tired of like listening to what people said, right? Let's say you wanted to do this. You heard your friends say not to do it. You heard other people say not to do it. In the end, that thing that you were supposed to do succeeded. Then who can you blame? you blame yourself what for not trying.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is to do things without regret lah. I think back to your question on like my proudest moment was that like when we were doing events, like I think one of the events we did was for Ngee Ann Open House. And then they had like outsiders coming in to try our products, right? I could see that they really enjoyed the product. Like the small feedback that I received, like even can be like, hey, it's nice. It's like these three words, right? Just made me feel so fulfilled. Like my efforts isn't wasted.
Yeah, like you get sort of, it's like the gratifying moments, like the small moments, right? The small wins that you get.
Like it's finally like worth it. Like it's finally done. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, because I think what you said just now about regret is a pretty good way to describe it. I think a lot of people, they hesitate to do things because of the fear of failure, right?
Yeah. Whenever we do something, right, we try to have a fallback plan, a plan B.
Yeah, for
But
sure lah.
you always want a safe way to do whatever you do. Like, but the thing is that life doesn't work that way, right? Like, and then in the past, right, I used to think that like studies was very important. I was expressed in secondary school. I spent every day I just study, doing test papers, right? And then at the end of it, I wouldn't say my results are bad or my results are extremely good. It was like in the middle. Then I look at my own portfolio. Like I actually tried EAE. I tried EAE.
To
And
banking
then,
finance.
Yeah, to business. Look at my portfolio. I'm like, what have I been doing for the past 4 years? My results isn't superb. It's not bad either. It's in the middle. I have my portfolio is empty. It's just as much as we try to like bullshit like sometimes or like try to like beautify our portfolio, right? I really have nothing to put. And then it hit me. Is this what I want to do for the next 4 years of my life? Like, is this what I want to do forever? Am I just going to like just study all the way and then play game and then rest? Like basically making my life more slack or like easy lah. Is this what I really want or not? Yeah.
It's like you work hard now so that, down the line you can relax more lah.
So back then, I think I was managing my business during my year 3 finals as well. Yeah, and my internship whatsoever. And then I was trying to, you try to be an all-rounder. You try to manage your studies, you try to manage your work, you try to manage meeting up with your friends, your social circle, and then your relationship as well. And then I tried to be an all-rounder. So I remember during a phase of my life, right, I had school, then it was like Fridays lah, whatsoever. I had school, then I had to go down and work, then settle things in the back end, and then meet my friends up for drinks because I haven't met them for a very long time. And then like it just dragged on. And then I haven't finished my final year projects yet. So until like I came back home at 1 a.m. and then I was just doing my final project, like tipsy, and just doing until 6, 7 a.m. every day. Like not every day lah, but like during my busy periods. 1 or 2 months, like back at the busy period, like the starting out period, right, where I had to like cross-reference and like go down and buy equipment and whatsoever. I didn't meet my friends for like months. Then I asked myself, what am I doing in my life? Like when all my peers are like enjoying like meeting up or like going overseas or whatsoever, I'm stuck here. I have like my social circle is, I felt that it was being dwindled. Like, cause I wasn't meeting my friends. I felt that I have this lost connection with them. And then every day I'm so tired. At the start I had a lot of passion. But sad to say, like even though you have so much energy, right, at one day it might die down whatsoever. So but the good thing was that even though we face problems, right, we try to like persevere all the way and try to get it done with whatsoever. Sometimes it's good to just take a step back and like rest for a bit. Like be self-aware. Like sometimes I think ego comes to place. As much as we try to like have this perfect version of ourselves in front of outsiders, in front of your friends, right? Only you yourself know how life really is like. And if you need that time off to just sit down or like rest and then think about what you should do next, right? I think you should. I think that's what we all should do lah. Instead of just chong all the way, and then at the end of the day, you're just damn tired, damn shacked out, and then
You burn out lah.
yeah,
I think it's good that you are quite self-aware. I think a lot of people our age, yeah, they just focus on like having fun now, and maybe they don't think too much about the future because they think they're still young. But I think it's good at this point in your life to take risks. So especially with this like BYOB thing, everything is so subsidized. If really right, the worst thing is that you fail, at least you tried, you know. You can't go back and try if you never started, you know, but you know you tried, you failed, at least you learn. But I mean obviously it's good that things worked out for you in the end.
I think another important aspect I considered before going down this line was that I took like my age into place. I had like either I do it young and I feel now, or if I do it older, right, when I'm like maybe 27, 28, when I have to like have more responsibilities on hand, I have a full-time job.
Yeah.
And then your safety nets become like when you have a full-time job, and then if I were to ask you, hey, leave your high-paying job for something that is so uncertain, right? It will like stress you out more,
Yeah.
right? As compared to now, you just have your okay. Studying is quite checked out, like tiring. It's quite tiring, but as compared to you having a full-time job and like having to overtime next time, I think now is the best time to start.
Yeah, because in the future you have more to lose.
Yeah, and if you fail, just get on with your life, because you will definitely earn the money back next time.
You mentioned you've had a lot of feedback through your different iterations, and even now or during events you get feedback from customers, right? So how do you handle customer feedback, like especially the maybe not so positive kind?
Okay, in the past I was in F&B, right? And even though there's this saying, customers are always right. But after being like in that position of being the one used to get scolded or whatsoever, I do things a bit differently lah. I would like ask my part-timers whether things are really true or not. And like ask people to monitor. And like but at the same time, we definitely have to please our customers first. Like we cannot tell them, oh wait, I will check first. You cannot say that. What?
Yeah.
So we will definitely hear their side of the story. Then we will actually like if like let's say their drink is bad, we will offer them to come back and try again, and then we will like waive it off, and then at the same time we will make readjustments on our end as well. Because I think there's a reason why they said it lah.
Yeah.
Right. I remember receiving one long ass paragraph. Like, oh your part-timer isn't like didn't like tie her hair, and like I saw like her hair like inside the drink whatsoever, and then like oh they were just talking, and then like there's like I received one whole long ass paragraph. Then I had to read through. And then the first thing I did was to apologize lah. And then I checked back with my staff whether such things happen whatsoever. And then I think it wasn't very intentional lah. I think they don't realize it.
Yeah, but I mean it's still an issue that has to be addressed lah.
So we enforced it like stricter. Like the good thing was that during that time I wasn't in army yet. So I went down to the store to like monitor them more frequently and ensure that they wore their mask and whatsoever, and like ensure the overall hygiene of the store is there. We definitely try our best to like please our customers and make them want to come back again, and like see if there's any changes like from the customers and customers POV, whether we did change or whatsoever, and then further follow up with them as well lah. Because we don't want them, even though it might be just one person, it might be spread through word of mouth.
Yeah.
Right. It might be spread through word of mouth, and then we don't want that to happen.
If you had a chance to restart, do it all over again, what would you have done differently?
Deciding the menu before including all these items, and then to firstly save the time lah of having to filter through all these products again. Secondly is training more part-timers to help to cover. I have this many part-timers, manpower still comes as a concern to me. Yeah. And then at the same time, finding a really solid marketing partner, which we are still doing lah. I think social media now is a very important aspect for businesses. There's businesses that rise to fame because of a good TikTok video whatsoever, but there are definitely some businesses that die out because they don't have good marketing whatsoever.
Yeah, like maybe their food is amazing, but because no one knows about it,
and then I think social media is a good way for us to get additional feedback lah. Like another way, instead of just through like talking like face to face, a good way to engage our customers.
Moving forward, I know now you're in NS, but what are some of the future goals that you and your partner might have for the business?
We definitely want to continue it, but at the same time, being able to have a good spot, having good rent. I think as much as we want to continue the business, we need to figure out whether it's feasible or not.
Correct.
Instead of, because I don't want it to be just me throwing money inside the
Yeah.
business and getting nothing in return. That is where I draw the line lah. But at the same time, currently we're interested in other things as well. So we might just see how it goes on. Because we still have 1 year plus to really continue. Because if we were to start something new, right, I cannot just control it behind the scenes.
Yeah, I
anymore
think
in NS.
if you are like doing something like opening a proper outlet,
Yeah.
I think that one you confirm you have to be there to
I
do
have
it
to
up.
be there like most of the time, which I sadly don't have now. Like
Yeah.
even in army now, we can like barely use our phones. So if something like really like messes up or is very urgent, I cannot do anything about it. So being there is one of my biggest concern lah. But at the same time, we see how it goes. I think me and my partner just goes with the flow.
Okay, so this will be the last question. So what advice do you have for people who are going to venture into the food space?
Basically just do it without regrets lah. If your passion is really into like F&B, just try out. But at the same time, the biggest sort of con of doing F&B business is very time consuming and long working hours. And I think starting an F&B store, it's not like you won't see the results immediately, right? So just be prepared. You might need some time before you can start to break even and start to see your profits. But I think, and really make sure whether is this a pathway that you really want to do or not. If not, you might waste some time in it lah. But bringing back to my first point, if you really want to do it, just do it when you're young. Don't do it when you're much older, more responsibilities, more things to think about. Then it will really affect your final decision.
I think I really enjoyed this conversation. I learned a lot about I think you've shared a lot of things that I didn't originally think about when thinking about F&B businesses. Because even though I used to work in part-time, you don't get to see this part of the business, right? So I think you share a lot of interesting points. I learned a lot about the F&B industry that I didn't previously know about. And I think you have a very good character. And I think that you have the skills required to bring you far in life. So I look forward to any future prospects you may want to take on. So thank you all for watching the second episode of the special Capstone Edition of Muse Talks. Until next time, see you in the next episode.